the importance of beginner's mind. Beginner's mind is a Zen term, and it is the idea or the experience that you are doing it for the first time. It's very refreshing, it's very new, and so there's a lot of curiosity, there's a lot of interest. You look forward to it, and that is the beginner's mind. With the beginner's mind, everything that you do, you're doing it for the first time because it's different. The situation is different, and the time is different, and even the place is different. So in other words, the music that you listen to today is different from the time that maybe months ago or last week that you listened to. If you can keep that interest, then it has a lot of momentum to continue. And if you lose that love, that interest also ends. So that's the concept of the beginner's mind, is that whatever you love something and that's meaningful, think about what caused you to jump in the first place. Your curiosity, your love for it, whatever it was that caught your interest in the first place. If you can maintain that, then you can maintain progression. And how do we maintain that? By understanding that every time that we experience it, we are really experiencing it for the first time. We are not the same person that we were yesterday or the week before. And the time is different, the place is different. And so from that perspective, whatever that we are experiencing now is truly the first time. But we forget. We think it's old and boring, but it is really the first time. And that's why people can commit to a cause, because they know it's worth it. They know it's worth the fight. In the heart, there's burning desire. Every time they encounter it, they are reminded of that first experience, the beginner's mind, that interest, that burning desire to accomplish something. They don't give up. They continue to hold on to that beginner's mind and keep that passion alive. And that's how they can maintain and progress. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus, he was best known for his theory that nothing is permanent except change. And he said famously, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." Does it make sense? Right? The river is always flowing. Your feeling is different. Your thinking is different. You have grown now, right? You have matured now. You have different perspective now. So when you experience something, you are truly experiencing it for the first time. Perhaps it feels exciting and you want to experience it again. So that feeling is what gravitates us to want to experience it again and again. You may probably remember your first meditation. So this first experience is very strong, very fresh, just because it is the first. And it makes a tremendous impact, a deep impression on you. And perhaps so deep that you never forget it. And sometimes it's so transformational that you are changed forever, and that you're no longer the same person spiritually, maybe psychologically, emotionally. You are forever changed and you never go back. So we come to Buddhism with enthusiasm, but then after a while, what happens? Some people who come to the Pure Land method or meditation, after a while, they practice maybe for a few years. Most of them would say that the best experience of it was probably the first year. The first time that they encountered it, it was new, it was refreshing, it was invigorating. But then after a while, the second time, the third time, they don't feel quite as fresh. And that's where the interest starts to dwindle. So if we're not careful, it becomes that old chanting practice, that old meditation practice, and it becomes rather dull and uninteresting and even unstimulating, because we have done it so many times before. That's when we have lost our beginner's mind. So everything that we do is really the first time. We are different. Situation is different. The time is different. Really, we haven't done it before. Therefore, we should keep alive that experience of freshness and newness in our practice. Otherwise, the spiritual life is a bit dull and a bit stale. And then we start becoming dissatisfied. We want to look for something else. We want to look for some distractions, a bit of a zip, a bit of stimulation, something that will make life interesting and exciting. We always look for something that's motivating, right? Whether it's the video game, the music, or whatever, mundane or transcendental, we're always looking for something to motivate us. And if we don't have good graphs, then we're going to rationalize and to find some substitute to reignite that passion. So it is very important that we maintain that beginner's mind, that fresh approach, as though everything was happening for the first time. And the truth is, everything is happening for the first time if we think about it. Every time is a new experience. You never heard it before, and it's fresh in your mind, and you appreciate it, and you rejoice in your own practice. Right? You rejoice in the fact that you have the opportunity to practice the Pure Land method or meditation, the precious opportunity to be forever liberated from all kinds of dissatisfactions and suffering. Right? So you appreciate the opportunity to enjoy the spiritual friendship. So it helps to build this rhythm of spiritual life because it builds momentum. Just like the snowball effect. You have a tiny little snowball, but it rolls downhill and it gains momentum and accumulates snow and becomes very powerful to a point where nothing can stop you. Your passion, your momentum is so powerful that nobody can stop you. That's how important the beginner's mind is.